In this lesson, I'm going to talk about ghost notes. Now, ghost notes are the quiet notes that you hear on the snare drum in the context of grooves and sometimes in solos and fills. We're going to start with the basics today, but even if you're quite an advanced player, there's some ideas that might help you just solidify your playing. So, first we're going to start with a 16th note pattern on the hi-hat, just a straight ahead 16th note groove. Sounds like this. Then what we're going to do is move the left hand onto the snare drum. So the right hand will still be playing the backbeat, the left hand is on the snare drum, okay? Now that sounds kind of weird. To make this the left hand part into ghost notes, we've got to lower the dynamic level of the left hand part. So all the left hand notes are going to be played about an inch off the drum, and you don't need to use a lot of energy for this. So a good exercise to practice is just get a click going, and with your left hand just play. And just focus on letting your hand be as relaxed as possible. It really doesn't take much energy to move the stick that far. You don't need to throw it in. You're aiming for, as quiet a note as you can get. And then perhaps work on some reading patterns or some broken 16ths if this is a click. And each stroke you play should start at the top, go down and come straight back. There's no lifting, there's no preparation, so you can practice this with the stick over stick technique. So your right hand above the left stick and just play down. You don't want to hear click, hit, click, you just want to hear hit, click. So there your basic groove is going to sound like this. 3, 4. Now, we're going to want the left hand to play the backbeat in most of the grooves, so I'm going to take that same pattern, but I'm going to miss out any of the left hand notes that would mean I have to play 2 16ths in a row. So for now, we're not trying to get right, left, left, because that's a lot. We'll move on to that. We'll go right, left, together, right, left, together, right, left. So the backbeat is when they're together. 3, 4. If we speed that up. One thing to keep in mind when you're playing ghost note based grooves is that the stick height of your left stick is much lower than the stick height of your right stick, and yet there are still going to be places where your sticks are playing together. So if you have a ghost note in the same place that you have a hi-hat, on one of the 8th notes, then you've got this going on. Now, quite often people are told that to play a flam, start with sticks at different heights and bring your sticks down together, which works. However, in this situation, you want to start with your sticks at different heights and bring your sticks down together, but make them sound together. So, if you think with the right hand on the hi-hat, if you were to play the flam technique for ghost notes, it's going to sound messy. Well, what we want is so that's worth practicing, playing things with different dynamic levels, but making sure you can still play the strokes together. We're now going to look at playing an accent with the hand that's doing the ghost notes directly after a ghost note. So if I just play the first example that I did with the alternating hands, but we're going to put the backbeat in with the left hand and miss out the note that comes after that. So slowly the groove will be this. And then the next step after that would be playing the accented note followed by a ghosted note. So this time I'll miss out the one that precedes the backbeat. 3, 4. Now, both of those examples are slightly more difficult than the previous examples where we were giving ourselves a gap between the accents and the ghost notes. What you need to get used to is the left hand preparing for an accent as it's playing a quiet note. At really slow tempos, you can play. If that was 16th notes, that's fine. But when you're faster, when you're playing faster grooves, and you need that kind of speed, then you need a technique that's going to allow you to get the accent and the quiet note without putting too much extra effort in. So the technique that I use is kind of the molar technique, where basically on the way up you're going to catch the ghost note, and once you're up here it's a whipping motion to get the backbeat. And the stroke after that, the ghost note that comes after the backbeat, we need to make sure that that is as quiet as the other ghost notes. Because you've just come down from an accent, there might be a tendency for the stick to rebound quite high, and then the next ghost note is going to be louder than all the others. You'll get something like this. Where what we want is all the ghost notes to be the same level, so you have to control the rebound of the accented stroke and make sure that it doesn't come higher than an inch or so off the drum. And the way I like to do that is to use the back fingers, the little finger and the whatever that finger is, the third finger, to kind of catch the stick. So on the actual impact, your thumb and your forefinger can even let go of the stick. And it's these fingers at the back that stop it from rebounding too high. Now, it's not a real tense grip, everything's fairly relaxed, but we just need some way to stop the stick from coming too far off the head. So once you've got that down, then you can play the initial groove that we had with all the ghost notes and the backbeat, which will sound like this. So if you work on those basic techniques, in the next lesson we'll look at some more complicated grooves with more kind of coordination going on between the feet and the hands.